Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am surrounded by my favorite things, books, and I'm here to chat about my summer reading plans. I have so many books on my TBR that I want to get to this summer. I love summer books. I love reading in the summer, reading outside, reading on the sun porch, reading on the deck, reading at the beach, reading at the pool, reading in my bed. Anywhere I could possibly be reading this summer, I want to be reading. And I have a lot of books, so I thought I would just share all of my summer reading plans. My reading for the entire season, yes, we are already done with June, but these are the books that I'm hoping to read in July and August, and then any overflow will be happening in September. So I want to talk about some things that I'm reading right now, or I'm hoping to read at the very end of June, because it is June 24th and I am currently reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. My Patreon and I have been each month reading the original trilogy, and now we're on the fourth book in publication order, but the prequel to it all. And I started this one last night and I'm on page 18. So I probably will just finish this one. I don't need to tell you what this one is about. It's a very popular series. Also, I don't want to tell you too much, but also President Snow recently passed and made me so sad. And also another book was just announced. So I am so excited that we're getting more in this world, more characters, stories, and we will absolutely be buddy reading that over in my Patreon. But yeah, so we're reading this one and we're discussing it in the next week. So I need to get busy. It's like a 16-hour audiobook and I've never read it before. So I need to pay attention. Okay, then I also still need to read the Sally Hepworth, The Younger Wife. I didn't get to it this month, but I'm doing a podcast episode spotlighting Sally Hepworth and all of her books with my friend Keisha from A Book Like You. And I want to read this one before that episode. I also did not get to Baby X by 𝒂𝒏𝒌𝒔. This is a sci-fi thriller, kind of like the one by John Mars. There's like DNA things going on. These are the kind of sci-fis that I really enjoy, but I just didn't have time to get to it this month. But so these are books that I'm definitely going to be carrying over into my summer TBR. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the books that I have. Now, are these the ones that I'm going to read in July? Maybe. I'm kind of pulling from any of these books. I'm going to try to mood read as much as possible, but there are some things that I have to do in certain months. If you haven't heard, I'm co-hosting Sleep When I'm Dead this month, and we are going to be reading Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and I'm so excited. I don't have my copy yet because tomorrow I'm making the road trip to Maryland to go to his signing, and I'm so stoked, you guys. I'm meeting Jesse and Lena there, and we're gonna meet Riley Sager, and it's gonna be amazing. And I'm getting my book, and then yeah, we're gonna discuss it with the Fab Five over on Jesse's channel, and I'm just so freaking excited. So I will definitely be reading Middle of the Night in July. Here are some other books that I'm hoping to get to in July as well. Summer Fridays. By Suzanne Rendell, and it's summer 1999. 20-something Sawyer is striving to make it in New York. Between her assistant job in publishing, her secret dream of becoming a writer, and her upcoming wedding to her college boyfriend, her plate is full. Only one problem. She is facing an incredibly lonely summer as her fiance has been spending longer and longer hours at work with an all too close female colleague, Kendra. When Kendra's boyfriend, Nick, emails to invite Sawyer to meet up and compare notes about their suspicions, Sawyer's lonely summer takes an unexpected turn. She and Nick begin an unofficial ritual exploring New York City together every summer Friday. From hot dogs on the Staten Island Ferry and sea breezes in a muggy East Village bar to swimming at Coney Island, Sawyer feels seen by Nick in a way that surprises her. He pushes her to be braver, to ask what she wants. Meanwhile, Sawyer draws Nick out of his hard shell, revealing a surprisingly vulnerable side. They both began living for their Friday afternoons together, but what happens when summer is over? So, I've never read anything by this author before. I absolutely adore the cover and I can't wait to give it a try. With the success of reading the Hunger Games series, we wanted to pick another series to buddy read. This time we chose The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So we're gonna be reading a book a month over in my Patreon. I already have the full schedule posted because there's 2 new books in this world coming. Okay, so we're reading The Inheritance Game in July, The Hawthorne Legacy in August, The Final Gambit in September, The Brothers Hawthorne in October, The Grandest Game in November, and Games Untold in December. So every single month for the rest of the year, I will be reading a book in this series. I'm very excited about this because I've heard such good things. It says Avery Grams has a plan for a better future. Survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. But her luck changes in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her virtually his entire fortune. The only catch? Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery, Hawthorne House is also occupied by the family that was just disinherited. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, dangerous magnetic boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. Heir apparent Grayson is convinced that Avery is a con woman and he's determined to take her down. But his brother Jameson views her as their grandfather's last hurrah, a twisted riddle, a puzzle to be solved. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege, with danger around every turn, Avery will have to play the game herself just to survive. So, yay, we're gonna be reading this. So excited. Next up is Summer Sisters by Judy Blume. I picked this up last summer when I met Keisha and Gabby, and I'm so excited that I saved it for this summer so I can like relive that trip just a little bit. In the summer of 1977, Victoria Leonard's world changes forever when Caitlin Summers chooses her as a friend. Next up is Raiders of the Lost Heart, a short little like rom-com, enemies to lovers, rival archaeologists must team up on a secret Aztec expedition or it could leave their careers and hearts in ruin. So I need to reach out to Melissa. She wanted to buddy read this with me, so I want to see if she wants to wait for August or if we could try to read it in July, but I do have a lot of plans, so we'll see. Adrift. This is something that my friend Jordan from Sorry Book Solid like put on my radar. I saw it at the book exchange and picked it up. S wakes up alone on a sailboat in the remote Pacific Northwest with no memory of who she is or how she got there. She finds a note, but it's more warning than comfort. Start over. Don't make yourself known. Don't look back. And I love, love, love the cover. All of these are giving great cover, you know? Next up, Wonderland by Jennifer Hillier. Love this cover, very like carnival inspired. Might save this for August, but I definitely want to read it this summer. Welcome to Wonderland. By day, it's a magical place boasting a certain retro charm. Excited children, hands sticky with cotton candy, run frantically from the giant octopus ride to the spinning sombrero. While the tinkling carnival music of the giant Wonder Wheel, the oldest Ferris wheel in the Pacific Northwest, fills the air. But before daybreak, an eerie feeling descends. Maybe it's the Clown Museum, home to a creepy wax replicas of movie stars and a massive collection of antique porcelain dolls. Or maybe it's the terrifyingly real House of Horrors. Or maybe it's the dead, decaying body left in the midway for all the wonder workers to see. With love from Cold World, which may seem a little tricky, but Lauren Fox is the bookkeeper for Cold World, a tourist destination that's always a winter wonderland, despite being located in humid Orlando, Florida. So I went with the location rather than like the Cold World. So I'm gonna try to read it, but if I wanna save it for winter, I don't mind putting it off. But I thought I should go ahead and try to read it because Florida, you know? I picked up this new release by Mary Kay Andrews, Summer at the Saint, and it's about this landmark hotel on the coast of Georgia where traditions run deep and scandals run even deeper. I also need to read The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren for Book of the Month. And I also need to read Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan for Aardvark Book Club. I'm very excited about this one. I've never read a book by this author. This one says, a forbidden affair erupts dramatically amid a decadent Hawaiian wedding, and this hilarious, sophisticated, and thrillingly plotted story of love, money, murder, sex, and the lies we tell about them all. So, I love, look how bright and fun and colorful and neon the cover looks. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect for summer. This Saturday night at the Lakeside Supper Club, I picked this up at the Book Exchange. This was making its rounds last year. I just think it's gonna be like fun. Like kind of like small town diner vibes. Everybody knows everybody. A story full of his signature winning, honest yet unfallible Midwestern characters as they grapple with love and tragedy, hardship and hope, and what their legacy will be when they're gone. Saint X. Jessie and I actually both picked this up when she came to visit, and she's actually picked it up twice. So we really need to read it. And we know that there's an adaptation, but we want to read the book first. Hailed as a marvel of a book and brilliant and unflinching, this is a debut. It's a haunting portrait of grief, obsession, and the bond between two sisters never truly given the chance to know each other. Again, great summer cover. Okay, so that's about half of the books that I need to share with you. Let me tell you about some other books that I don't have copies of yet. So I'm gonna hope to read those in July, and then this other stack here are the ones that I'm hoping to read in August, but I have some that are not in this stack. So I don't have Two Sides to Every Murder by Danielle Valentine in this stack, but that is the Night Owl Book Club pick for August, and it actually comes out tomorrow, so I might actually pick it up when I go to the Riley Sager event. And then Jessie's book club, Sleep When I'm Dead, is currently voting on a book for August. So whatever they choose, that's what I'm gonna read. I'm also going to be reading Society of Lies by Lauren Ling Brown for my podcast discussion in September. And I'm so excited because Brandon is going to be joining me for the discussion, and I've wanted to find some way somehow to collab with him because he's so supportive in the YouTube community, and I feel like we read similar books, and I love his thoughts and his reviews that he posts on Instagram, or like when he joins book discussions, the things that he has to say, or like he is in the Sleep When I'm Dead Discord and we talk about thrillers a lot. So we have chosen to read Society of Lies by Lauren Ling Brown, and we're both so excited. It has like a dark academia kind of vibe to it, and yeah, so pick it up, join us, read it, and I'll put the date for the episode right here because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it's sometime in September. And then also I may or may not read What Have You Done by Sherry LaPena. And then I may or may not read Bad Tourist by Caro Carver. I think that's gonna be a book of the month pick, and that's actually a pseudonym. So yeah, anyway, I think those are the books that I'm gonna be adding to these physical books that I have. But we are also going to be reading Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie, and by we, I mean me and my patrons. We started in January with And Then There Will Be None, and then we read Murder on the Orient Express, and we saved Death on the Nile for this summer, and we're going to be buddy reading it in August. So I'm very, very excited about this because this is like the other really popular one, and we'll be watching the movie as well. When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen. This was part of my short books vlogs that I wanted to get to. I've kind of abandoned that, not intentionally, but I really do want to read this because of the setting. It's like a segregated hometown in the South, and there's like this wedding on a plantation. Yeah, it's horror. And The Missing by Kirsten Modglin. They disappeared. That was just the beginning. When 5 strangers are abandoned on an island without any idea where they are or whom to trust, their nightmarish new reality begins to unfold. I have heard many negative reviews about this, but you know what? I'm forming my own opinion. So I'm gonna dive into this one. The reason why, even though I heard the negative opinions and I really wanted to read this, is because when I had Kirsten Modglin on my podcast, I asked her, okay, I know you probably can't pick like a favorite book, but do you have any characters that really like stand out and that you really enjoyed writing? And one of her favorite characters was in this book, so I want to read it for that reason. I mentioned earlier that we're buddy reading the Inheritance Games series at my Patreon, so obviously I will be moving on to the Hawthorne Legacy in August. And then I picked this up on a whim from the book exchange, Once Upon a Sunset by Tiff Marcello, #1, the cover. But I also read another book by this author and really enjoyed it. I think it was called like In a Book Club Far, Far Away. It doesn't have it listed in her also by. But anyway, I read another book by this author and I really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping I enjoy this one too. It says Diana Gallagher, Carrie, a Washington, D.C. OB/GYN at a prestigious hospital, immerses herself in work to bury her grief over her granny's death and her breakup with her boyfriend. But when she makes a decision that results in bad press for the hospital, she's forced to go on a break. When her free-spirited mother, Margot, stumbles upon a box of letters from her grandfather, Antonio Cruz, to her grandmother from the 1940s, Diana is spurred to action. Diana and Margot always believed that Antonio died in World War II. When they learn that he lived through the war and that they have surviving relatives in the Philippines, Diana embarks on a once-in-a-lifetime trip that could change her future forever. So, yay! The Philippines! That should be such a fun setting. The Trail of Lost Hearts. This is one that I may read like late August or even into September because it has to do with geocaching, and geocaching kind of like is like hiking, and hiking I kind of think of like fall. So yeah, so this one is about Ren Waters, and she ends up meeting Marshall Hendricks while geocaching. What begins as a platonic road trip gradually blossoms into something deeper, and the more Ren learns about Marshall, the more she wants to know. Now all she can do is hope that the universe gets it right this time. Also, I'm so excited that I'm gonna be co-hosting the Libronauts book club for Elise's book club, Libronauts. And it's a sci-fi book club. It's relatively new, but she asked me to co-host and I'm so excited. And she let me pick the book, and I chose The Light Pirate by Lily Brooks Dalton. Someone come on my podcast, Kara from the Book Caravan, and she talked about this book on there and it just sounded amazing. So I kind of immediately picked it up off of Pango. And then when Elise asked me to co-host Libronauts, I was like, let's read The Light Pirate. So this one is a story of survival and resilience spanning one woman's lifetime as she navigates the uncertainty, brutality, and arresting beauty of a rapidly changing world. So this is kind of like climate fiction, and it's set in Florida, and I'm just really excited because I've seen so many great reviews after hearing about it. It was also a Book of the Month pick. I don't have that copy, but yeah, so I'm excited to get to this one. I thought it was going to be fantasy, just with the title and kind of the cover a little bit, but I'm excited. So join me and Elise and everybody else for the Libronauts book club in August. She has a video about it, so I will link it down below. I also have Vacation Land by Meg Mitchell Moore. This has been on my TBR for a couple of years now. Let's see. A delicious summer read set in mid-coast Maine, tackling family secrets, marriage, motherhood, and privilege. I mean, what more do you need? I also have 3 Sandy Jones books, and I would like to do a Sandy Jones vlog. I've done one before when I taste tested Sandy Jones as an author, and I really liked both of the books that I read by her. I gave them both 4 stars, so I'm hoping all of these will be 4 stars as well. And she writes on the shorter side thrillers, you know, family dramas. So this one, the guilt trip. They went away as friends, they came back as suspects. Rachel and Jack, Paige and Noah and Will, 5 friends who've known each other for years. Then came along Allie, Will's new fiance. The 3 couples traveled to Portugal for Allie and Will's destination wedding. The weekend away at the gorgeous clifftop villa is a chance to relax and get to know Allie a little better. She seems perfectly nice, and Will seems happy after years of bad choices. But when Rachel discovers a shocking secret about Allie, everything changes. As the wedding weekend unfolds, the secrets each of them holds begin to spill, and friendships and marriages threaten to unravel. Wow. Sounds so good. In Sandy Jones's explosive new suspense novel, jumping to conclusions can become the difference between life and death. So that is The Guilt Trip by Sandy Jones. And oh, let's look at, I was saying how short it was, or how short her book. 305 pages with an epilogue. Perfect. Also, The Blame Game, this one is even shorter. Games can be dangerous, but blame can be deadly. A psychologist specializing in domestic abuse, Naomi has found it hard not to become overly invested in her clients' lives. Oof. Okay, this one is 244 pages. And then I have The Half-Sister by Sandy Jones. Meet the half-sister and unravel the ties that bind us. The truth, the lie, the unthinkable. This one's probably the longer of them. 323 pages. So my friends, these are the books that I'm hoping to read this summer. There are a lot of them, and these are the books that I'm going to be pulling from. You know, who knows what month I'm actually going to read them in. But here they are. My summer TBR. Can I read all of them? I don't know, but we're gonna try. July, August, and a little bit probably into September. Can't even scoot up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh, put them down. Okay, the fun thing is that I will check in for an August TBR and let you know, like, these are the ones that I still have to read, or these are ones I've decided to add to my TBR or take away from my TBR. So I will still be checking in with a TBR video and letting you know kind of like the update. But yeah, because I also have a very fun 5-day readathon planned for my Patreon in August, and I want to talk about that and what I'm going to read for that. So I will check back in then, but that's all for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day. If you made it this far in the video, leave the sun emoji in the comments to let me know that you made it this far, and especially if you don't have anything else to say. I like the comments. I like talking to you guys, and I like thanking you for watching my videos. So like I said, hope you're having a great day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye friends.